Hey, and welcome to another episode of Rennch. On today's show, we're going to be seaming some seals and sealing some seams and undercoating the bottom of the Blasphemy build. Hi, welcome back. I am Michael, your host. And first and foremost, I want to say thank you to all of you that subscribe to this channel. We just hit 20,000 subscribers. Really cool to be in the twos. It's a little bittersweet. I wish I was in the tens versus the twos, but we have not yet been blessed by the algorithm love in that way. Which is why if you guys notice, in the comment section of the videos, I try literally to respond to every single one as much as I can. It takes sometimes a long time, but I appreciate every single one of you that subscribes to this channel. And I just want you to know that. I want you to really be aware that I'm very grateful that you spend your time with me in this little build of me as a single dude in a garage and not like a Hoonigan or a Throttle or one of these giant channels. So I appreciate you. And also, as part of my stats, 70% of people that watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you are one of those people, it makes a gigantic difference to a little channel like mine to get a subscription, even if it's not in the metric sense, but to be able to show it to potential sponsors and things like, hey, I've got 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 subs. It really makes a huge difference to, the bottom line and to the perception when you're out in the world and being like, hey, I've got this YouTube channel, people are paying attention to it. So if you're not subscribed, I would be super grateful if you would do that exact thing and subscribe to the channel. And if you are subscribed and have been a loyal subscriber, super high five in the comments. Thank you for helping me get to 20,000 subs. So this video you're watching right now might as well be sponsored by Pelican Parts. It's pelicanparts.com. If you don't know Pelican, I've been shopping with them since 2003. And when I was starting to prep for this video, I needed to get some undercoating. I realized that wait a second, the weekend's coming up. I really want to have this thing done by the weekend because I have to get this rotisserie down to Costa Mesa Collision so I can blast a car. So it's got to get off of the rotisserie. And I only had one single can left of the Wurth high build undercoating. So I reached out to Pelican. I said, hey guys, would you be interested in doing a video? And they were like, we are in. We love the Blasphemy build. We love the stuff you post. What do we need to do? So they actually gave me a whole case of the Wurth high build undercoating. And as an experiment, I wanted to make sure that it was still paintable. It says it's paintable, but you never really know. So I took a piece of steel and I coated it. And then I actually used, if you guys don't know this, you can get cans of your car's paint, not like AutoZone, but you can actually go to an automotive paint shop and they can make you a can of your exact paint color on your car. So if you need to do some major stuff like a bumper or something like that, you can get a can of that and then a 2K clear coat. And that's the one where you've got to pop the thing off the top and stick it in the bottom of the can, and then you actually have a clear coat, just like a body shop would have. They're actually really, really good clear coats. You can do tremendous work with them. And I painted this panel. So this is actually the color of my Panamera, which is a carbon gray, I think they call it. And it's got some gloss to it, but I wanted to make sure that this undercoating was indeed paintable, and it is. So the first thing we have to do is seal the seams on the whole car. So I've got this gray seam sealer, but it's totally paintable. So that's really good. I've never done seam sealer before, but I'm gonna seal the whole car as much as I can. Certainly everything underneath the car, all the spots where I've welded, I wanna make sure those seams are sealed. Some stuff in the front end, although I really want the front end to look, beautiful and dialed. So for some of those things, I may end up using the fiberglass filler. But for now, I want to start sealing some seams, and I'm going to use this SEM seam sealer. All right, for the seam sealing, I'm using SEM 29372. Again, I've never seamed a seal. I've never sealed a seam before. So I don't have much of a plan other than if I see a seam, I'm sealing it. I feel like with seam sealer, more is better. I mean, just it's better to have too much than not enough, you know what I mean? And I'm just looking for daylight, basically. If I see any light between me and the inside of the car, I'm also doing the welds if I can. Well, maybe I don't need to, I've already kind of coated them, but anywhere I see sort of major seams that can come on the inside of the car, I'm gonna just give it a dollop. I will say the welds on the flares are really small and really tight. I did a pretty good job with those. There are not a lot of holes or gaps or anything in there, which is really good. I'm pretty proud of that. Anyway, what we're shooting for here is just to keep moisture out. All the moisture from out of these welds and from the underside of the car. By the way, and I'll show you guys in a second, but I totally primed the front end since you guys have seen me last, and it looks awesome. I'm really excited about it. It looks really good. I need a lot in this area because I've done so much custom fabrication in here. It's fun, it's like finger painting. All right, there we go. Got the underside sealed. Got a whole bunch gooped in there. The undercoating will make this all disappear, so I'm not super concerned, but it looks really good. All right, so I'm very sealed everywhere now, and it's getting pretty tacky. Should be able to be painted relatively soon. And I have a little side project I have to tackle, and that is these little end caps. I had to do so much fabrication in this whole rear end to put it together, and these end caps have never looked good. They've always had these like really bad filler, and I thought, you know, I could fill them. I could do like fiberglass filler over the top and sand it and smooth it out, but I'd rather just make a plate for this spot and just weld it in because it's just going to make the engine compartment look a little nicer. So this is 16 gauge steel, and I've got my ground ready to go. I've got it already clamped in place, and then there's primer on the back side of it right now, and that is just to protect against rust in the future. I'm not going to go crazy welding this thing. I'm only going to actually tack it together in a couple of spots, maybe a couple spots here in the front, these 6 plug welds, and maybe 2 or 3 on the bottom. I just kind of want it to look a little better than it did. All right, that looks so much better. I've run some tape on the top here. I'm gonna get this part with undercoating and then kind of get the bulk of the floor done. Maybe a bit in here. I'm concerned about, like, you know, firing it out into the garage. And I wanna get like basically what I can get while it's in this orientation. Then I'll kind of give it a minute, and I may actually finish the other half tomorrow, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna get it flipped and do the other side as well. I still need to weld up this thing. I can't do all of that while it's in this orientation. So I'm gonna get what I can right now. All right, that's 1 can's worth. It needs another whole coat for sure. And by the way, a lot of people have asked me, like, why are you putting undercoating on? It's so much heavier. This car is meant to be like a multiple day road trip targa track weapon, and it just sucks to drive a car that has 0 sound deadening. Plus it's gonna protect the paint. It's gonna do all kinds of good things. So I'm not too worried about it like that. I should be able to get the second coat on the main floor with 1 more can. And that should give me plenty to, you know, do all the rest of the inside of the stuff as well. All right, I'm gonna mask up and headphone up and get into this. Well, I did the big flip, and there's nothing like flipping the car entirely over to show you the places that you thought you totally nailed and then did not nail at all. What I'm gonna do now is weld in this last piece. Am I on camera over here? Yeah. I'm gonna weld in this last piece here so I can finish up the trunk area. And then I've got some touch up to do, and then that basic, like the front section still has to be done. I have 4 full cans left. I hope it's enough. This is specifically why I'm using this kind of undercoating. So if down the road I have to like grind down to bare metal and do something over again, I can always re-undercoat it with that can and then use some of the spray that you can get at the paint store with a little 2K clear, and it'll look just like all the other spots. All right, guys, I am set for my final push. I've got 4 more cans to go. I can see all the places that I need to hit, and I think if I'm efficient, I won't run out of undercoating. But we'll soon find out. So this looks so ridiculously good. Check that out, you guys. It's just so cleaned up and awesome. Grand Tour. I thought before I wrapped up the video, I would show you guys the undercoating in the daylight, because it looks awesome. I took the tape off, and again, it will all be body color. I will be painting the underside probably here at the house, and then take the rest of it in to the pros. But it's just really good. You know, all the stuff is seam sealed and undercoated. There's my cool little section I built the other day. I'm gonna flip it back over and see if I missed any spots from there, but that is a job well done. Well, I couldn't resist, once I got the car back on the flat, kind of throwing the gas tank in just to see how it looked. Oh, it's so cool. Anyway, here's what it looks like, all nice and dry. One more final section here to prime in the center, and then we are ready to do the outside of the car. Just the engine compartment looks so good. Camera's not gonna let me do this very well, but man, it looks awesome in here. Well guys, that was a huge success. Special thanks to Pelican Parts and Wurth for providing the undercoating to enable me to make this thing look this awesome. I've got a couple more bits on the interior to finish before I can fully prime it and get it ready to paint the entire thing. As always guys, thank you so much for watching me and the Blasphemy build. I hope you're enjoying the build. If you are, please drop me a comment below. Let me know what your favorite part is. All right, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Keep on rocking.